Okay, get ready. 1, 2, 3.
Club number 0. Announcing the arrival of World Travelers Toastmasters Club number 079679399.
We have proven that we do not have to be in the same room to be united, to encourage each other, to succeed, and to celebrate together.
That's a blue sari and give Sarah. The sari that you wanted to give her, I want to give her.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and guten Tag. Welcome everyone from all around the globe to World Travelers Flight. This is Tamami Nagayama from Japan, your crew surgeon at arms. Tonight, we're visiting in-camera online Toastmasters Club in Germany with none other than Toastmasters International President Morag Mathieson. Thank you, Morag, for giving us this awesome opportunity. Our journey is to make sure that we follow the mission of a Toastmasters Club, which is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every member has the opportunity to develop communication and leadership skills, which in turn foster self-confidence and personal growth. Please be advised that we are recording this journey. So please turn on your camera if you're okay and put your sweet smiles along the journey. Also, remember to mute yourself when you're not speaking. Our journey will take about 1.5 hours. Now, please fasten your seatbelt. As we are ready to take off, please help me welcome our president of World Travelers Toastmasters Club, Joseph Skoda, DTM, past District 33 Director, to give the opening address to welcome everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much to Mommy, and thank the rest of you. I mean, this is going to be an awesome journey. I just found out half of us are like district directors or past district directors, whether it's a district director or somewhere in leadership. Every one of us has stepped up to attend a new journey, start something new, travel around the world. And with Morag as our special guest today, we deeply appreciate seeing you. And I met you the last couple of conventions, and I'm looking forward to the one coming up in a couple months. I hope to see all of you there. It's about 7 a.m. here in California. I live between California and Hawaii, and it's a 3-hour difference. I'm thankful it's 7 a.m. and not 4 right now. That's kind of a big deal. But in 2 hours from now, I'm competing in 2 contests for one of my clubs, South County Presenters, which I'll be competing in the humorous contest as well as international. So wish me luck in that one. And every one of us has our own journey, our own adventure of where we're going to go in the future. So always give it your best. I want to welcome the president, Ellen, over here. I appreciate you. I see it's a different day for all of you, but we have in camera online Toastmaster Club here, and that's Ellen leading the way. And I know we're all going to have new leadership next year. And some of you are going to step up to the realm and make your club even bigger and better than ever before. This club, we probably represent 16 different countries at the moment. Could be 15, could be 18. We have guests on a regular basis. I can't tell you about all the countries. I'm an American, but obviously a license from Singapore, we got Malaysia, we got the Philippines, and we got Japan, and we got Germany, and we got Saudi, and we got Canada, I'm already out of breath. It doesn't really matter. The point is we're coming together, we're building bridges, and we're having fun. Without further ado, I like to say that a lot of people don't, but our Toastmaster today comes from parts unknown. He won't even let us know where he's from. It changes from week to week. But please help me give a warm welcome to Mr. Ram himself. Ram, take it away, big guy.
Thank you, President Joseph. Welcome, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome, guests and Morag, Mathieson. Welcome to this joint meeting, a joint meeting of two clubs, World Travelers and In-Camera Online Toastmasters Club. Try saying that when you've got 2 drinks in your hand. It's a challenge. I've not tried it myself, but I'm sure we'll give it a go. Today we have a packed agenda, as always. Now, we have 2 speeches, I believe. I'm going to check to see whether our counter has arrived. Eliza, if you can, just put your hands up if you see that particular individual. If you don't worry. What we will do is we'll improvise, because as Toastmasters, we never stop. We just keep going, even if there are obstacles. And I'm sure you'll all agree today, we're going to have a few challenges and a few road bumps, but we'll continue and we'll persevere. Now, what I'd like to do, if I may, is I'm a little bit early, but I wouldn't mind just actually getting the timer introduced, if I may. So can I get the Vincenzo, do you mind just introducing your role as the timer, please?
Thank you, Ram, Mr. Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters. I will be the timer for today. So I will track the time for each speech, for every single thing that we have on the agenda. I will use different backgrounds, virtual backgrounds. So if you watch at my screen, you will see green, yellow, and red, depending on the time that you've been speaking for. Let's keep all track of this so that we can have a smooth meeting and we can go through it by the end. Thank you, Ram.
Thank you, Vincenzo, the timer. And Vincenzo, do you mind just putting your digital hand up so you'll appear in the top right-hand corner? Is it left-hand corner? I can't get my left and my right sorted out. Just put your digital hand up and you'll stay always on the screen, if that's okay. Perfect. Thank you very much. What we will do is we'll come back to the role of the R counter. Oh, hold on. Eliza's got her hand up. Thank you.
Sorry, Ram. The accountant is not around, but the grammarian is here, Anushka. I haven't put in the agenda.
Okay. No, it's no problems. What I'd like to do, if I may now, is introduce our grammarian for today, Anuksha. Do you mind just please introducing your role and sharing the word of the day, if you don't mind?
Yes, of course. Hi, everybody. It's lovely to meet you all. I'm Anushka, your grammarian for the day. So our word of the day today is picturesque. Picturesque. I hope it's not too much of a complex word to squeeze in, jam into our speeches, but it'd be great if everybody can use it. And I'll just give you a little summary of what picturesque means for those that don't know. So it's an adjective, and it means something is visually charming or quaint, or i.e. it's really nice to look at. And quite often we use picturesque when we're referring to vistas like the horizon, paintings or gardens, or, you know, very pretty things. So for example, used in a sentence, you might say, oh, what a picturesque view. Or you might say, wow, this is a really picturesque, quaint fishing village. I'd love to live here. So the word of the day is picturesque, and I'll pop it in the chat so everybody can refer back to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Anushka. The word of the day is picturesque. That's a really long word. I tried writing it down just now, and my spelling is rubbish. I don't even know how to spell that. So I'm waiting for Anushka to put it into the chat to remind me how to spell picturesque. I think that's 3 times already, isn't it? Just make a note, Anushka. Right. Thank you. What I'd like to do, we're a little bit early. What I'd like to do is, Anuksha was talking about, you know, things that are picturesque. I went into the garden today. My garden, the grass was this high, slight exaggeration. Yeah, but I think you get the point. It was really high, hadn't been cut all over winter. And I thought, I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to try cutting the grass today. Took out the grass cutter, the mower, depends on what you call it. And it refused to turn on. It refused. Out came the screwdriver. That's what we do as men. We get the screwdriver out. Out gets the screwdriver. First things first, check the fuse. Fuse is fine. That's my job. I check the fuse. Anything other than that is too complicated for me. So I'll put it back in the shed and I'll look at it another day. Now, what I'd like to do is just double check. Eliza, do we have him in the room? No, doesn't matter. We'll continue on. What I'd like to do now, if I may, I'll come back to the story of my garden and the grass cutter later on. But I'd like to, if I may now, is just move over to Ellen, who's going to be giving us a city tour of Germany. So if everybody's okay, I'm going to hand over to Ellen to give us the city tour of Germany. Over to you, Ellen.
Dear world travelers, dear in-camera online members, guests, hello. Let's board also something to have a view on the club in-camera online. And actually, I have to admit, I didn't prepare all the German part, but I prepared to have a look at all the in-camera online Toastmasters. And let me share my screen. Can you see it now? Yeah, you should be able to see it. Which is actually a picture of a Padlet showing where we are from. In-camera online Toastmasters are probably a third of them are located in Germany, but a lot are located in other countries as well. So when we look at the different countries, I picked a few pictures from all the countries like Craigieburg, Victoria in Australia. A member is from there, and I think he's attending during dinner times, which is wonderful to have all these different kinds of members. Then let's have a look at Emma. She's from China, from Shenzhen. And it's always afternoon when she attends. So I usually greet my members when they come into the room, like, wherever you are, because for me it is early in the morning, but for the rest of the members, it depends on where they are attending from. We have one member from India. He recently joined us and brings some more variety, diversity into our club. We have somebody from Russia. She joined recently. And it's wonderful to have another person from Cyprus. And I skip quickly through the cities and here and there hold for a closer look. Another recent member is from South Africa, Romania. Romania is a country where Dracula comes from, Transylvania, and it's in the rural country. You still have a gorgeous landscape. Rome, Italy. Vincenzo, I actually took your place, your Italy place, instead of the place where you live, because I thought it was more variety. And Poland is also a wonderful place, a big country. And what I come from Poland, what I know from Poland is these people actually have a heritage, of a legacy of being pursued from different other countries, Germany, Russia, and so on. So they are actually culturally people who stick together, who help themselves. And when I remember when I was a district governor, I used to work with continental Europe people, and one of the Polish ladies, she told me, you know what? The Germans are quite cold people. It's always business first. But the Polish people, for what I discovered, is that they stick together, that they help each other easily, and then that they don't care about that you ask. If you ask a German for help, they do, but they wouldn't probably volunteer for themselves. But in Poland, it's different. And this is something what I discovered is something which drives me to be a club with many different cultures. So here we come to Germany. We actually have in the northern country, Lübeck, which is a harbor city, and it's wonderful. And the wonderful sweets comes from Lübeck. They're famous for their marzipan. I don't know if this is the English word for it, but if you go there, take care that you taste it. Hamburg, one of the most famous cities. We also have a Elbphilharmonie, which is actually a big opera house, which I was told a perfect audio profile. So take a look at that. And Hamburg is also very famous for their harbor city. They used to have big houses where they actually stored things taken from the ships and stored there. And these houses are still kept in line. So when you go through this part of the city, it's a gorgeous look. You can see the picture here from these storehouses. We go further to Amberg, which is a wonderful, nice city near the place where the club was founded, and Möhrendorf, where Morag lives, and where I found this wonderful picture of a water wheel. And we have a lot of different places in Germany because we used to be a country with a lot of small kingdoms, and they were fighting all over all the time. So we are kind of, my place is my home is my castle. This is why we have a lot of castles and why we actually have a lot of fences in Germany. Uttenreuth, Erlangen, these are actually close together. When you have a closer look at the Padlet, we have Erlangen and Nuremberg. This is an area where Morag and Steve and Margaret actually founded the club in thinking of actually meeting for breakfast and wanting to have a breakfast club. Nevertheless, as it is, when you start something with an idea, it sometimes gets its own idea and its own character. So it evolves, and now it's not only a breakfast club, but a club for a lot of people all over the world. Munich. This is the city I'm placed at. And Munich is always worth a trip, not only because it's a wonderful city with a lot of nice places, but I would like to show you as well our ice creek. We have surfers in the middle of the city. Although we don't have an ocean nearby or a sea in the city, but it's a small creek in the city where there are waves, and you can see them riding the waves. So this is something which is a secret tip. If you come to Munich, have a look at that Eisbach. And of course, Germany is very famous, and especially Bavaria is very famous for its beer. This is actually my hometown where I live, and it's nearby Munich, and the beer is fantastic. I think we have we have probably one of the biggest varieties of different beers in Bavaria. We're very famous for it. And when you look at the places, it's not like you get a small beer, but you get big beers. This is very unique for Germany as well. Therefore, let's have a look at Beilstein. Beilstein, for example, is the other part of Germany where you get more wine. It's near the Mosel, a river, and along this river, a lot of hills have these wonderful growth of wine plants, and they actually focus on creating a wonderful wine. So we have a big variety of different beverages and things going on. Moving on further to Belgium. Belgium is, I think, quite famous for its chocolate. But I remember when I was in Luxembourg, they drove me around through Belgium, Germany, and Luxembourg. It's an area where you actually can visit 3 countries in one drive. And they brought me to a house of 100 beers. This is quite nice to have that. And here you can easily go by different from Belgium, which is the seat of the European government, to Germany, visit parts of Germany, Luxembourg, which is a small country located within these countries. And of course, we get to France. France is a wonderful country, big country, and we have people from the vicinity of Toulouse. It is wonderful to have all these different kinds. And I'm not sure, Anushka, where you're located in France. I think you're still located for you're in the club for UK. And we have Ploubezre in France. Also, they are far away from Paris. Nevertheless, they have wonderful sites and wonderful castles and wonderful landscapes. And I remember when we come to Glasgow, we have a few people from Glasgow, and Kyle told us about Snickers, fried Snickers. This is something which is also, it sounded very weird, but he promised us it's worth a try. So if you get to Glasgow, take a look at that, fried Snickers. And Malvern, I can't tell you a lot about Malvern. Bristol, we have 2 people coming from Bristol. I think, Anushka, you're from Bristol, and John Holway as well. They met at a hotel. And when it comes to all our different locations, I actually stop sharing my screen right now because I wanted to tell you a little bit about not only the different countries and the different sites you can have in our club and in Europe or all over the world. But for me, it's also the culture, because the culture of the different countries also brings the diversity and a variation into our club, which helps us to be open-minded, to be cosmopolitan, to be actually to get new ideas. And this is something what I discovered as a district governor. I was district governor for continental Europe. Therefore, I had 17 different nations, and in our club, we have 14 different nations attending our club regularly. And this is something which enriches a club, because Indian people are different from German, are different from Spanish, are different from UK people. So you have so many different cultures, which helps us to actually accommodate to a different thinking. And this is something what I would like to encourage. And this is what I discover, what I think is Toastmasters all about, to stay open-minded, to evolve, to accommodate yourself to people thinking differently and being in a different, being different throughout their, what they do, with their habits. And this is something what I favor in Toastmasters and in our club. Therefore, I hope you did got a nice look into the different countries, and I hope I picked the right pictures for our club. Nevertheless, what I think is always wonderful is the different cultures. So having a picturesque environment is one thing, but the different cultures help us grow. And this is what Toastmasters is about. Back to you, Ram.
Wow. Toastmaster Ellen, that was a fantastic tour of Germany and a few other places that we weren't expecting to visit today. You described it in such a way that I actually started to see pictures in my own mind of what it would be if I was actually there right now. So thank you very much for providing those descriptive views and landscapes of those different countries. Very, very well done. And I completely agree with you, Toastmaster Ellen. One of the unique things about Toastmasters is you never know who you're going to meet. You never know what their background is, but we embrace everyone. We embrace their cultures, and it's like they are part of this large family. You know, it's like we're going to have a big hug around the world. It's absolutely fantastic. Well done. Thank you very much. Moving on to the next part of our agenda, we have some prepared speeches. Our first prepared speaker is Lai Kok Fook. I don't have a speech title. Is there a speech title, Lai?
11.
11.
Yes.
Okay. All right. With the speech entitled 11, Lai Kok Fook.
With the word 11, what could you think of based on what the 11 means to you? The most easiest you can think of 7-Eleven, like what Eliza put in the chat box. How about we put it in the Toastmasters 11 pathway? How many are you joined before pathway was launched? Can you give a raise of hand or put in the chat box? How many of you joined Toastmaster after the pathway has launched? Do you know when it started? What's the first purpose of it? Toastmaster first discussed about the pathway in 2010 through the board of directors and was known as Revitalized Education Program. Does that name sounds attractive to you? I don't think so. That's just my opinion. And then it was renamed, pathway was launched in 2017. With how many pathway do you know? 10 only. 2019, another one was added, starting with the word engaging human. Those are how Toastmaster Pathway was launched. What's the first objective of it? How many do you know about it? It was an initiative of providing real-world communication scenarios for the members around Toastmaster to learn, and also aligning with the powerful leadership program, which was being introduced by Toastmaster, with the motto where leaders are met. Those are Toastmaster motto for the 100 years. Now, in Toastmaster, what is one of the biggest things that they want when launched? You want to provide the member what they want and for them to create a meaningful experience on what skill they want to learn and adopt in not just in Toastmaster, and what it means is applicable outside of Toastmasters, from how the traditional program to the pathway program. they want real practice skill. Hence, pathway was launched, and that's the main purpose. I was got into Toastmaster in 2019, actually in 2017, but I didn't join. Only joined 2 years later. Started with the pathway innovative planning. It was first challenging for me, as I was saying. At first, I thought Toastmaster is just do a speech, practice your speech, deliver your speech. That's all the first purpose. And through learning through the pathway, climbing up, first level, second level, third level, and reach the fourth level, I found the challenging part, doing a real life project. I was thinking, what can I do? Handling a project, searching for idea. Then this friend of mine came along. He's in this screen. His name also starts with E, Ilios. Theophilus. I told him, Ilios, what can I do a project? He told me, Lai, do a podcast workshop. Introduce me to the whole Division K. I said, okay, let's make it happen. Hence, that's my first project in Pathway in the practice, the first division podcast project. That Pathway really had guided me in how I do a planning, how to lead a leader, and able to deliver a speech. Although my speech is not picturesque in any proper way, yet at least it's easy to understand. Through that pathway, I learned a lot of things outside what we learn. We must try to apply it outside for the benefits of our learning. Hence, the club is always the safest place to practice what you want, what your idea. And then she came along. One of my best friends, Eliza, came along. She asked me, Lai, what are you missing for your DTM? I told her, this. Okay, I can help you. Let's charter a club. And also thankfully for her and our past district director, Katie, in helping me to get my first ever DTM. Still in the box. I don't know why I don't want to unbox it yet. But I'm very grateful for Eliza, Katie, and Ilios. They have been one of my best friends in my Toastmaster learning journey. And through them, I learned one of the most important things, networking around the world. Those networking really helped me, not just in Toastmaster actually, in my career as well, as I slowly try to expand my connection outside of Malaysia through one step by step, moving into Indonesia as to expand my network and to go on for my business expansion. What do I want to do? Hence, it's important that, like I mentioned, learn in Toastmaster, practice it, apply it outside. That's one of my part of my journey. And there's one more thing that Eliza always say, Lai, you are crazy. What are you gonna do next after the DTM? I told her, there's one thing, maybe finishing the 11 pathway. She said, are you sure? Then I show a picture of her. My 7 triple crown pin, each pathway represent 1 pin. I said, I'm gonna get it fulfilled with 4 pins this year to finish the all 11 pathway. As I challenge it from 1 district to 2 districts, and this year I challenge 4 districts to complete my 4 pathway. 1 district, 1 pathway. It pushes me to my limit, as I'm not sure how far I can push myself. And with the support of the member in Toastmasters, I'm very grateful for them to support me in all my learning journey and the way I go along. The 11 means from the pin to the friendship, all these things. And I find that what you learn is important to apply outside. And I'm grateful for them. They are here tonight and with all the friends around the world here tonight. And especially my DTM plaque is signed by our international president, Morag. That's how I feel so proud of. I will say, thank you for the Toastmaster. Thank you for the members here for helping me, guiding me in my learning journey. And through my experience I've gained, I do share back to all my friends and my mentees. And thank you for that. Back to you, our Toastmaster Ram.
Hey, thank you very much, Lai. Wow, amazing journey so far, and the journey's not over. Completely agree with you. Just when you think you're done, another door opens up for you. Absolutely fantastic. We're a little bit early, it'll be rude for me not to finish the story of my grass cutter, my lawnmower. And so there I was, screwdriver in hand, nothing wrong with the fuse. I then stick a screwdriver at the other end. It's a tester, right? So you're supposed to be able to do this. Stick it in there, the light doesn't come on. And I'm thinking, I don't understand. The switch is on, the fuse is fine. Why doesn't the power go through? It's a safety connector. It's supposed to stop people like me putting screwdrivers in at the wrong end. You're not supposed to do that. Anyway, I open up the control panel. I put the screwdriver there and the switch is working fine. I then open up the lawnmower, more screws, open it up. There's grass everywhere. This lawnmower has been cutting grass every year for the last 15 years. Hasn't broken down once. And it was a little clogged up. So I took this opportunity to remove 15 years worth of grime and grass. And it looked spotless. Well, spotless for me. I then turned it back on again. And again, nothing. This time I'm starting to get a little bit stressed. I have to admit, a little bit stressed. I've been at this for about 3 hours now. What could possibly be wrong? And as I examine this one end to the other end, I realize the 2 wires that connect to the motor, they've snapped off. It was probably something I did, removing all that dust and grass. So out comes my screwdriver again, my favorite screwdriver, and my pliers. I put it back in, trim it nicely. All right, now things are looking positive. Grass is gone, ready to cut the grass. Switch on the mains, nothing. I don't understand. I'm confused now. I am really confused. I'm a little bit more stressed. So what I do is I dismantle the switch mechanism again, and I realize there's a small plastic lever that goes between the switch, and the actual electrical switch, and it had popped out. It's my own fault. I should have checked it. I should have taken a photo before and afterwards, so that way, it's exactly the same. Finally, press the switch, and I have power. And there was celebration, so much celebration. I ended up cutting the grass. It took me about an hour to cut the grass. It's nice and clean now. My wife is really impressed because she's thinking, he doesn't realize it's my job to cut the grass, and he's cut the grass for me. I didn't realize until just now. Anyway, long story short, don't leave things for another day. If it's broken, see if you can resolve it today. Otherwise, you're just moving problems from one day to the next, I don't like doing that. I like fixing it if I can straight away. Otherwise, it's just going to bug me. Now, moving on to our keynote speaker, Morag Mathieson, with the speech entitled Leader Without a Title. Leader Without a Title, Morag Mathieson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster. But my speech actually has a different title. My speech is called The Gift.
The Gift.
Yeah.
Apologies. Let me do that again.
Okay.
With a speech entitled The Gift, Morag Mathieson. Yay.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon in my time zone to those of us joining the meeting today. I first heard about Toastmasters when I was an MBA student in the UK. A group of Toastmasters came to our school and they showed us what it was all about. Knowing how many presentations the MBA students do, it seemed like a good idea. So I looked for a club where I was living at the time, but there were none. I took the flyer, I filed it away and forgot all about Toastmasters until several years later, I relocated to Germany. A colleague of my husband's, David is actually here today. He's not a member of In Camera, but hey, isn't it lovely to join with your husband in a Toastmaster meeting from time to time? One of his colleagues said one day to us, "We have this new club in town. They're really nice people and they speak English. If you come on Wednesday, you'll get to hear me give a speech." The club was only 6 weeks old, and I went to meet people because I was brand new in town and I didn't really know anyone at all. When I got there, though, I saw and I experienced so much more. I discovered a professionally run meeting, which began and ended on time. And the people seemed to laugh a lot, but also to learn a lot. I knew immediately I wanted to join. And from the very beginning, I loved it. I dived right into the programme. I would take on any meeting role. I worked on speech projects, and I especially loved the after-meeting gatherings, where I was able to build connection with our members and with the guests who visited the club. I loved being part of a community of learners where each person had something they wanted to achieve and where we all get to help each other to achieve those individual goals. If I give a speech, that's great. But it's greater when someone introduces me and sets up the audience for me, when someone else gives me feedback on how I did compared to the objectives of the project, on how my use of language is, whether it's picturesque or not, and how I can go from good to great and from great to even better still. The following year, I became the Vice President Education in the club, and I got the chance to have an impact in a different way. One of my personal passions is to see people grow and develop. And as Vice President Education, I got to make that happen by creating interesting meeting agendas, making sure people were getting to take active roles in meetings, and making sure that everyone had a mentor that needed one or wanted one. That club officer role was the start of a journey of leadership through the organisation, roles in the club, and also in the district. My district leadership journey began with an invitation from Ellen, the in-camera club president at the moment. And then later as region advisor, and now today serving on the board of directors as international president. Not something I could ever have imagined when I first stepped into that club meeting. Toastmasters is a learning by doing experience. As I've gone through all those different roles, I recognise that the more I do, the more I learn. Did you know that our education programme has over 300 competencies built into it, giving us the possibility to tailor-make our learning for the things that we want to achieve? None of us came to Toastmasters to get good at doing Toastmasters. We came to learn or to grow in some area in order to improve our situation in the life that we have outside Toastmasters. Those 300 competencies are only part of the story. Alongside that, there's incidental learning that happens. And that happens as we join in meetings and we become part of the whole story of our club's life. Helen Blanchard, the first woman president of Toastmasters, said, "If you get all you can get out of Toastmasters, you'll never get out of Toastmasters." I think she may be right. When a club has a district leader, someone like an area director as a member, or an international director, or in the case of In Camera, the international president at the moment, that says something very special about that club. It says, this is a club that raises up leaders. This is a club that raises up people to be more than they thought they could be as speakers, as leaders, and as people. This is a club whose members are committed to the mission of the club. And just in case we've forgotten it, the club mission says, that we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. As a member of the board of directors, I am required to be an active member of a club. And whenever it is possible, I like to be present at my club meetings. And if possible, take a meeting role. Why? Because the club is where the magic of transformation begins. You see people who are so nervous they can barely speak at the start. You also see people who come who can barely stop speaking. That's a different kind of challenge for them. You see their progress. You get to be part of their journey, just as they are a part of your journey. I like to think of our membership as a gift. It's a gift that we get to unwrap. Imagine being given that parcel and we try to guess from the size and the shape of the parcel what's inside. Even if we all have the same size and shape of parcel, when we unwrap it, it may be quite different inside. If you were to ask all the experienced Toastmasters here about their journey of personal development through Toastmasters, each one of us would have a unique story to tell because we are unique and how we use that gift of membership is different. As I said, my husband David is with us today, and David and I joined Toastmasters on the same day in the same club. And we, throughout our journey, have remained members of that same club. Our journeys have run totally in parallel, but yet they are so different in the choices that we have made, in the roles that we have served in, and in how we have used our learning in our life outside Toastmasters. At one point, we were both secretaries of different Toastmasters clubs. And this for me highlighted it beautifully because we did the job in completely different ways, ways that played to who we are as people and to the needs of the club that we were serving. In the club where we began, where we're still members, David would be one of the first choices for a mentor for a new member. He connects on that level and he is a strong and able mentor for new members. There's no chance on this earth that you will ever see David as international president one day. It's just not his bag. It's not in his gift box. But what is in his gift box are things that bring him joy, that grow him as a person, and that enables him to function in partnership with others in the clubs where he is a member. I encourage us all to think of our membership in Toastmasters as the gift that keeps on giving us the opportunity to be part of a team that creates opportunities for people to grow in self-confidence as they develop the skills of communication and leadership. When you do that, and when you work together to make your club environment positive and supportive, and your meetings the best they can be, you open the gift of transformation for everyone, allowing each person to become the best that they can be, inside and outside of Toastmasters. I wish everyone today every success in reaching your own personal goals in Toastmasters in the years ahead. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Wow, thank you so much. All right, Mathieson, the gift that keeps on giving, absolutely fantastic. I completely agree. Don't come to Toastmasters because there's so many friendly people in the room. That is one reason, to be fair. But there are other reasons. Find out what your reason is through mentoring, through just asking the right questions. Absolutely fantastic. I completely agree. Moving swiftly on to the next part of the agenda, table topics. Reminds me of my very first table topic. Oh, such a scary thought. What I'll do is, rather than go back to that thought, I'm going to hand over to Phoebe Hendon, who is our Table Topics Master. Phoebe, over to you.
Thank you very much, our confident, eloquent Toastmaster of the evening. This evening is so special for all of us. I'd like to acknowledge and give greetings to our international president, Morag Mathieson, with her husband, David, all the district leaders, district directors, distinguished Toastmasters, and every one of us in this room. Congratulations for joining us this evening for this special evening of Cyber Carnivals. We will have a picturesque evening and table topics. Would like to encourage everyone to join this evening's table topics. So everyone has a chance to join us using our Wheel of Fortune, Wheel of Names. And this evening, I have 10 questions. It's a combination of simple question, 3 words question, to a more complex questions. And it refers to cyber security, cyber carnivals, or it's about life. So get ready for our evening table topics. Everyone, be ready as the wheel of names will be steered right now. Let's see who is the fortunate first speaker this evening. Yay. Congratulations, distinguished Toastmaster Armins. Kindly choose. Are you able to see my slides? Kindly choose a 1 to 10. Which of the topics?
7.
7. All right. Beautiful. Ellen, your topic is Carnival is not just a celebration. It's a dance of emotions where every step expresses the unspoken language of joy. Carnival is not just a celebration. It's a dance of emotions where every step expresses the unspoken language of joy. Ellen Arbenz.
Thank you very much for this wonderful topic. Carnival is not just a celebration. Actually, when it comes to Carnival, it reminds me of where this celebration comes from. It used to be a time where everybody can be crazy and actually criticize the authorities and actually talk bad about the king or queen. So it is a lot of joy, sometimes letting out your criticism and things you're unsatisfied with. And this is something why people dressed up and disguised themselves with masks. And through the evolution of communities, of celebrations, it became more and more the joyful, fun thing it is today. So therefore, dressing up, being something different, somebody different, is something which can give you a lot of joy, and you can actually be a fairy, a pirate, or whoever you like. So therefore, excel in disguising, being somebody different, to really enjoy not only a celebration, but the being something different. Back to you, Phoebe.
Very much, District Past Director Distinguished Toastmaster Ellen for that picturesque table topic speech. It was, I feel like I was dancing with you as you painted the words in your speech. Thank you for that. And our next speaker would be, wait a minute. All right. Are you able to see my wheel of names? All right. Hey, Janet. Let's give a big hand to Janet.
Yes, I'm sorry I have to keep my camera off though, but
all right. From numbers 1 to 10, except 7.
6, please.
All right, 6. This is it. Number 6.
Okay, so
Topic. Most people don't believe something can happen until it already has. Most people believe something can happen until it already has. Janet, thank you.
Have you ever felt like you can't believe something can happen until it actually happens? Sorry, Phoebe, is that the right way I got it?
Yes.
I'm going to restart. Okay, restart. How many of you actually believe that something can happen? How many of you don't believe something can happen until it actually happens? Well, I remember one time when I was waiting for a flight standby, and I just wasn't sure if I could make it on the plane. I was actually number 25 on the standby list, if you can believe it. However, my sense of optimism kicked in, and I thought, I am going to manifest this. I am getting on that plane. However, there's a little bit of doubt in my mind because the other side of me said, don't believe it until it actually happens. Can you believe it though? I made it on the plane. I was the last person who got a seat on the plane. I guess some other people decided not to carry through with their plans perhaps, or didn't show up, put their name on the standby list and didn't show up and gave up. But I thought I would challenge that notion that something can't happen that is so far-fetched. Think of a moment in your life when you just couldn't believe it would happen. Another time, I remember that I was thinking, I need to win the lottery. I'm on my last few dimes. And lo and behold, someone in my family won a small amount in the lottery, just enough to tease them to continue buying some lottery tickets. But that was enough for a good meal for all of us in the family. I didn't believe it could happen that we could win the lottery until it actually happened. Think positively, everyone, and manifest your dreams. Back to you.
Thank you very much for challenging us to think when that time happened. And it happened to me when there was like a pile of snow in Winnipeg and I had to fly back home in the Philippines. And I have to catch up with my flight in San Francisco. And I almost missed the plane, but I made it just like you. Thank you for that. Our next speaker is, let us check on our wheel of names. Yay, congratulations, Lai. What number would you like to choose?
What numbers are left?
1 to 10, except 6 and 7.
Number 1, please.
Number 1. You have a good choice. Simple, but meaningful. Your topic is movement is life. Movement is life. Toastmaster Lai.
Every step, every move, every breath we take is a sign of life. So what did we do every day in our life? In a learning journey, it's the effort that we put in that help us to grow from what we learn. Like just being mentioned, I shared out in my speech just now. At first, I was not so keen on delivering speech in Toastmaster. I was thinking, is it there necessary? Through that, after a while, when my mentor spoke to me, what is the purpose actually? When I look back at it, how she taught me, I finally understand what she meant. Every pathway project does serve a purpose if you look clearly at it. If we just go ahead and just read the speech objective, it doesn't serve a purpose. It's just a speech. If you learn through the menu that is provided, there is everything that you need to learn, how the steps are being provided. Through the steps, I learned that how to do every way possible in preparing the things that I want in my life. Even though there are challenges some along the way when we're doing something, do remember, do not give up. As long as we don't give up, everything can be done and be settled all the way. If you fail the challenge, talk to your friends, take a little break. Those are the important things. Remember, every move that we make, movement that we take, those are the signs that we are still alive. Hence, always be ready for anything challenge of your head. Take up the challenge and make a breakthrough along the way. Back to you, Table Topic Masters.
Hey, great. Don't get stuck. Move, because movement is life. How many speakers more? All right. Who is our next speaker? Elaine. Congratulations, Elaine Christrom. What number?
3, please. 3.
3. All right. Number 3. Oops.
You haven't shared your screen in case. Oh, there you are.
Number 3. Number 3. Cybersecurity is a shared responsibility. And it boils down to this. In cybersecurity, the more systems we secure, the more secure we are. Cybersecurity is a shared responsibility. And it boils down to this. In cybersecurity, the more systems we secure, the more secure we all are. Helen, distinguished Toastmaster Helen.
Fellow Toastmasters and friends, how secure do you really feel? How secure are you in this cyber security world of ours? Frankly, on a personal note, I can't really tell you that I feel either more secure or less secure, because this cybersecurity is just not my cup of tea. So given this question, are we really feeling safe or secure in cybersecurity? What does it really mean? Does it mean that my computer never get hacked? Hopefully that is the case, or that I will no longer receive all these annoying scams on my phone or WhatsApp messages and things. I really don't know. So I would like to give it out to all of my new friends in Toastmasters. Maybe you can send me in the chat how I can react to feel more secure in this cyber world of us. Thank you, and back to you, Topics Master Phoebe.
Thank you. Sometimes we become so paranoid with all the hackers around us. But when we secure and we are conscious about cybersecurity, we can be more secure. Who will be our next speaker? Let's see. Nancy, Distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Winston. What number would you like to explore? Nancy.
I don't think I can talk. I've been coughing all morning long, so I'm gonna pass, okay? Sorry.
All right. Next, we'll try somebody else. Emma. Toastmaster Emma. What number? 1 to 10.
Number 8.
Number 8, thank you. Number 8. Your topic is privacy is not an option, and it shouldn't be the price we accept for just getting on the internet. Gary Govax. Privacy is not an option, and it shouldn't be the price we accept for just getting on the internet. Toastmaster Emma.
Thank you, Phoebe. So recently, I just read an article about a hacker. If you really want to use the internet, can we escape from being like stalked, being our privacy being seen by other people? Actually, it's very difficult, except you don't use the internet. And then I'm thinking about, yeah, if I don't use the internet, can I still survive on this world? And I have my experiment. If it's unnecessary, I don't connect to the internet for the day. I was very I feel very worried about things happen that I don't know at first, because I don't want to lose connection with friends, with family, with other people. But after 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and I find after I connect to the internet on my phone, there's less and less information sent in to me. And also, the information sent in the groups, they are unnecessary to me. And I think, oh, I can survive without internet. That's not that important. I can have more time to hang out with friends offline. And also, it also makes my life very colorful. And I like that. Thank you. Back to you, Vivi.
Thank you so much. Today is like a day for me too, because I left my phone and I had the socializing with my friends, former office mates, and just like you, it's really great to be with warm buddies. One more speaker for tonight.
We are at time. Sorry, Phoebe.
How many more time? No more time.
We are at time. It will be better to go on the evaluation session.
Okay. Back to you, our Toastmaster of the evening. So many things to learn, so many things to explore in this cyber carnival. Carry on, my friends, and find out what we can.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Table Topics Master Phoebe. Wow, so many difficult questions. My heart was pumping. It was going like this. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, Phoebe, and thank you everyone who participated today.
My pleasure.
Really, really good responses. Really enjoyed all of them. I made a note over here. Lai, you had donuts on your wallpaper. I started thinking to myself about donuts. I was thinking, sugar donuts. If I had a box of sugar donuts, it reminded me of pathways and your goal to do all of the pathways. I was thinking, a box of sugar donuts. If there was 24 donuts on there, would I finish them all in one day? I could do it. I'd be sick. I'd have a sugar rush, but I wouldn't really get the taste of the donuts. It'll just be in and out. Instead, maybe what I should do is savor the donuts. Yeah, one donut every 2 or 3 hours. Make it last longer. Make a box of 24 donuts last the entire weekend. It's making my mouth water already. I do apologize if you had the same challenge. Now, moving on to the evaluation part of the meeting. First of all, I'd like to introduce Lada to evaluate Ellen Herman's speech. Lada, whenever you're ready, over to you.
Hello, my fellow Toast gods and goddesses. Thank you, Ram. And hello, especially our beautiful Ellen, our tour guide. Loved it. What a great, it was a very picturesque, poignant, and personable speech. I was trying to think of a better P word in the end, but all I got was personable. So, and definitely picturesque, and another picturesque. So, what a beautiful view into the club. I really, if that was your aim, was to really give us a flavor, definitely a flavor of your club, for sure. What a great map. Woo, girl. Who liked that map? That was an awesome map. And then, even better, and this is just, I'm sorry, it's so German, and it's German in the best way. You gave us the link for the map so we can look at it afterwards. Did anyone notice that? Did you guys look at that? You can actually look at the map and it's interactive. You could look at all the pictures. I thought that was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And then you went into all the different countries. I loved how you started out, and maybe you could have kept going a little bit. You had people's names. I'm sorry, I met the guy from Australia. I didn't get his name, but I know you said his name. Then you said Emma from China, and then you said she, he. And not the whole time, but I like it. It makes it even more personable, even more like, okay, you kind of connect to the person's name. And then I love when you went into all the stories about, that Polish people stick together. I thought that was great. I want to see some marzipan. Who here wants to see some marzipan? I wanted to see it. I don't know how easy it is to get it, but it would be interesting just to show it if you could. Props are always fun. Then you went to the storehouses, and I like that cute, and you give cute little facts like that you guys have a lot of fences. I thought that was very funny, and that was cute. And then you went into I love the one you said this. You said that you guys were a breakfast club that went, and then the club got its own idea. I love that. You made the club a person almost. I just, that picture for me was great, that it got its own idea and it took a life of its own. I just loved that when you said that. That gave me, in my head, I saw like an amoeba, it kind of became alive, which was nice. And you could have said that, metaphors are always great. I want to go to Ice Creek. I've been to Munich a couple of times. I would love to go to Ice Creek. Wow. That's interesting. Then the beer. The beer began. Bavaria. Can you show us a beer? I'm sure you have Steins in the house, right? You have some Steins. I know you. Every good German has Steins in their house, right? So show me some. Most people have no idea what I just said. It's just like a beer mug. So show us some Steins. It'd be really nice. Then and the wine would have been nice. The House of 100 Beers. Definitely you should have had some beer there. Fried Snickers. Ugh, never. And then you came and you went off of the share and we started to see your face. And I love that. That's when it started to get even more personable. It was nice to see your face. Love what you said. You had great gestures, by the way, and you have great nails. I love your nails. Anyone notice her nails? I think that's for Easter, right? You've got the pastel going. Look at her nails. Isn't that cool? All different colors. I was thinking, how long did it take her to do that? So I thought that was beautiful. And then you said, this is so true. You said, we accommodate different thinking. I never thought of using the word accommodate, but that is true. We accommodate different thinking. That's what we do here in Toastmasters. One of the wonderful things that we do. You said, stay open-minded, evolve. It was just a beautiful look into this. You just showed us all these different countries and in a really nice, organized way. You said different countries help us grow. And I think that's why we're all here, to grow. And this experience of experiencing other countries is so enriching. I don't know about, for me, it is wonderful. It is a wonderful thing. Both of our clubs do the same thing. And I think that's why it's perfect that we're here celebrating both of our clubs together. And it really was like a hug around the world. I love that Ram said that. But a beautiful speech. You showed me what it was like to be a member of your club without me even coming. And that you achieved that beautifully and very picturesquely. Okay, with that, back to our beautiful Ram, who is Ram.
Thank you.
There you go, here, catch.
Thank you. Lady Unicorn, thank you. I completely agree. The way it was delivered left me wanting more, which is the best way to leave the audience. Thank you so much, Laura. Moving on to our next evaluator, please, Emma Hay, to evaluate Lai Kok Fook's speech. Over to you, Emma.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ram. What does 11 mean to you? And thank you for introduce the pathway to us. Like, I remember you said one district, one pathway. What an inspiring story. Thank you. So for your speech, what inspired me, and also some things I like, is the first thing is your interaction. I remember at the beginning you have interaction. You ask people, what does 11 mean to you? And also ask us to send our answer in the chat box. I think it was great. You immediately engage the audience to your speech. The second thing I like is your body language. I noticed that you use your hand during your speech. And also, I like your eye contact. You're very familiar with your speech, and you keep your eye in the camera to see us and have a connection with the audience. The third thing I like is your structure of your speech. You carry your speech forward by asking different questions, like what does 11 mean to you? What can the pathway help the members? What do they want? And also then, what can I do with the project? Then you start your speech with your journey of Toastmasters. I like all of them. And so in Toastmasters, an evaluation should help our members to improve. So for the improvement part, it's hard to find because I find that you're so familiar with your speech and with your body language. And what can I find? And then I remember that once when I was doing a speech, that a member in our club, Peter, he reminded me that a more mature speaker can use intentional or unintentional pauses during his speech so that you can make your structure more clear during your speech. And yeah, that's what I can give. But it's a very great speech. So all in all, I like the structure of your speech and also your body language and keeping the action and using your props in your speech. It was very great. And also, if you can be aware of the pauses during speech, I think it would be great. And I believe you improve and polish your speeches every time. And looking forward to your next speech. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Hey, thank you so much, Emma. Thank you so much. Feedback is how we learn. If you do a speech in a room by yourself, A, you have no friends, B, you don't get feedback. Unless the neighbor bangs on the wall and says, hey, stop talking, you've been talking all day. Maybe that's one kind of feedback. If everybody can put their camera on, it'll be good to take a fantastic photo. If we can do it now, that would be fantastic. And I can see there's a few people ready. Nancy, if you can put your camera on. Jasmine, Anuksha. Anybody else? Kathy, Phoebe, Moira. As many as we can. If you can, please turn your camera on. Let's take this. Good to see you, David. Jasmine, you there? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I do apologize. If that's everyone, then Eliza, can you do the necessaries?
Okay, smile everyone. 1, 2, 3. Okay, give me a moment.
You gotta have a crazy shot.
Crazy shot.
Okay.
Of course. Wouldn't be fun without that.
Okay, one more.
Ready?
Crazy, everyone hands up. Go crazy. Woo!
Okay, done. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. It's good to have memories. Good to have. Tosin, good to see you. Right, now. Moving on to the R counter. Oh, we didn't have an R counter, did we? Moving on to the grammarian. Anuksha, do you mind giving us a grammarian's report?
Yes, of course. Yeah, there was some beautiful language used today. So I've just pulled out some of the best. And I have to apologize if I don't call you out or I've missed something, because I had about 3 parcels being delivered today on a Saturday. So I was back and forth from the front door, lugging things around. So first of all, just a big thank you to everyone who used picturesque. There was a lot of use. Ram used it at least 4 times. There was Ellen, Lai, Phoebe, and Lada. And I, again, apologize if I mispronounce anybody's names. In addition to using picturesque many times, there was some really nice uses of English language, some really nice descriptive language, some really nice, I forgot the word fails me. It'll come to me. Anyways, I'll just pull out a few of them. So Ellen said, a really nice piece of description, the variety of cultures helps us to be open-minded, cosmopolitan, and evolve. Some really nice language there. Lai used a word that we don't often hear these days. It was an adverb, hence. So he said, hence Pathways was launched. He also said, hence I am grateful for them. And I just think that's such a lovely word that's often used in literature. And it'd be great if people used it more. Lai also said, during table topics, every move that we make, every moment we take is a sign that we are still alive. I felt that was really poignant. It sounded like a quote. It didn't sound like you just made it up off the cuff. It sounded very much like it was written in a book. Of course, Morag had some beautiful language. She said, how I can go from good to great and great to even better still. She also said, this is the club where the magic of transformation begins. And she also said, think of Toastmasters as the gift that keeps on giving. Some really beautiful language there that paints a really nice picture. Phoebe, I loved the language you used. You have such a wonderful way of describing things. You said it's a dance of emotion where every step is filled with joy. And you also said, I felt like I was dancing with you as you painted the words in your speech. That is really beautiful and that resonated strongly with me. Janet said, think positively and manifest your dreams. Emma said, made my life more colourful. And Lada said, it was a picturesque, poignant and personable speech. So some alliteration right there. That was really nice to hear. So thank you, everybody. I feel very inspired. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Anuksha. It's tough, isn't it? It's tough to get the word picturesque in there. Thank you so much for picking out those fantastic words and phrases. Now, moving on to our timers report. Over to you, Vincenzo. Vincenzo, timers report, please.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. What a wonderful meeting. Thank you, everyone, for helping everyone running it smoothly and on time. I was especially impressed by the time of Ellen and Lai. Ellen had 15 minutes to speak. She spoke for 14 minutes and 58 seconds. That's so precise. And Lai for 6 minutes and 55 seconds, very close to 7 minutes. That's amazing. We had then Morag for 10 minutes and 30 seconds. And most people on time for table topics as well. Ellen at 1 minute 40 seconds. Janet slightly over time with 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Lai 1 minute and 50 seconds. Then Helen 1 minute 32 seconds. And Emma with 2 minutes and 11 seconds. The evaluations Lada went a bit over time, but I could have listened to her for 10 minutes. The evaluation was very pleasant. It was for 4 minutes and 45 seconds. And then we had Emma with 3 minutes and 10 seconds. There might be also feedback for myself. For table topics, we had 20 minutes scheduled, and that's when I stopped the table topics. I think it could have run 5-10 minutes more, even though the agenda was for 20 minutes, but something to keep in mind. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Ram, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Vincenzo, for the awesome timing report. Now, I'm moving on to the last part of the agenda. It's the general evaluation. Over to the general evaluator, Tamami. Tamami?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Now I have a few comments on today's meeting as a whole. Before we started the meeting the meeting was slightly delayed due to the members coming in a little bit late. But agenda was shared in the chat box promptly several times as members and guests came in one after the other. And it was good that agenda was kept on putting on the chat box for people coming in later. And guests were welcomed warmly with greetings. And for Toastmaster of the Day, speaker transition was smooth, thanks to Toastmaster Ram with his humorous stories in the middle. And for table topics were well prepared, giving a lot of excitement to the meeting to practice their impromptu speech. And I think quality of the questions was high and challenging speakers' skills to improvise their thoughts off the cuff. And also it kept us on our toes when we'll be called upon, and that was very good. For our speakers, they were very wonderful speeches, and the evaluations were very constructive. And on the whole, meeting was with a good vibe, with everyone's enthusiasm to make the meeting fun, meaningful, and supportive. World Travelers Toastmasters Club and In-Camera Toastmasters Club both have multinational members and enjoy the differences and common grounds. As our Toastmasters International President, Morgan, put it, open the gift of transformation to become the best they can be inside and outside Toastmasters. I really enjoyed today's meeting with such picturesque faces on my screen today. And that's all for my report. Thank you. Back to you, Ram.
Thank you so much, Tamami, for the general evaluations report. Just a quick shout out, if In-Camera Online Toastmasters Club is having a birthday celebration, just remember us, we're the fun club as well. Yeah, we always like to join in whenever there's parties going on. So please invite us, we'll be more than happy to join in. And we also have birthdays as well going on within our own club, right? So Lai, I believe there's a birthday with a birthday boy in the house, Lai, is that right?
Yes.
So we shouldn't really be asking, you know, a young man's age, but happy birthday regardless. Maybe if we can all unmute and wish him well. Ready?
Happy birthday, Lai.
Yay, well done.
Happy birthday.
Lai.
Best
Well
wishes.
done.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Lai. Happy birthday
have
to
our other
you.
birthday
Many
boy
happy returns
in the
of
house
the
as
day.
well?
Happy birthday.
Hey, well done. Happy birthday.
Thank you, everyone, for the best,
Well
for
done,
the
everyone.
wishes.
Now, on to the very, very last part of the agenda. I'm going to now hand over to the closing address by President Ellen. President Ellen, I'm going to hand the floor to you to close the meeting, if I may.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for all who participated and prepared something for this wonderful meeting. And this is something which always shows me a Toastmasters club is not always the same. Different Toastmaster clubs handle and treat different things, the different topics differently. And this is something where we always can be inspired by these other ways to do things. So it is wonderful to see that. Thank you very much for being here, for showing us and inspiring us. I hope we could participate a bit and inspire a bit the World Travelers Club with the In-Camera Online things, how we do things. So we can learn from each other and use the things to improve our clubs. Thank you very much, Morag, for your keynote address. I take this with me because the gift is something I absolutely think the same. We all have our unique reasons to be a Toastmaster and to improve at Toastmasters. Thank you for inviting us, for having us. Eliza, for taking care and helping us to organize it. And with that, I'd like to close the meeting and open probably a bit of discussion and feedback, how you liked it. I think we have a bit of time left. Therefore, I adjourn this meeting. Eliza, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, thank you very much because my president is not here, so I was looking back for my president. So I'm as a VPE for World Travelers. We want to say thank you to Morag for your time. And this is a special that we give only to the keynote that give us keynote in World Travelers. So we are going to send this to you, and thank you very much for your time to give your keynote in World Travelers. We are all very honored to have you in World Travelers. Thank you very much. Any feedback for the members or anyone?
Thanks, Madam DTM Eliza and Madam Ellen. Thank you so much for giving us this wonderful evening today, because all top starbirds are there. So we are really happy to be here, and we learn a lot. Thanks to our international president, Madam DTM Morag, for giving us beautiful insight of Toastmasters and how beautifully you conveyed a wonderful message today. Really, it is amazing. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart and from District 79. Thank you so much, ma'am. Over to you.
That was great. I realized that we are doppelgangers for each other, right? That's a
Yeah.
German word. Does anyone know what doppelganger means? No? Doppelganger is, I guess it's what? It's like we're
Duplicate?
very alike. We're very similar.
Hmm.
When you see a doppelganger or someone says, oh, I saw your doppelganger, that means, oh, I saw someone that looks like you. So I think we're very, very similar in a beautiful way. Oh, wait, I hear it. I looked it up. It means double walker in German, right? A ghost or shadow of yourself. Anyway, so we're doppelganger clubs. That was interesting.
That's right. Okay, never mind. Morag, any feedback or anything? Last word?
It was
I
great.
just think it's fun when clubs can be together, when they can take the opportunity to flex a bit. You know, this isn't our normal meeting time, and I'm very grateful to the members of In Camera who would give up a time when they would normally be doing something else to come and be part of this. It's a great experience and a great opportunity. And thank you to all of the members of World Travellers for joining us today, and to the guests who've come along and either out of curiosity or whatever, for whatever reason you came today. I hope you enjoyed it, and feel free, if you're not a member of either club, to reach out and visit the clubs when they meet in their regular slots. Thank you. And now, Finn, it's good to see you. Haven't seen you for ages.
And you too. It probably goes all the way back to Luxembourg, to Bossuet Gaveliers, or even perhaps Poznan or Krakow.
I think the last time I saw you, I was visiting a club in Greece online, and you were there.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. That's good.
And Niall, where are you from?
How long have you got?
Oh, just one. Give me one country.
Okay. I'm a Luxembourg citizen who was born in East Africa and grew up in New Zealand and lives in Greece.
Oh, yikes. That was loaded. Okay. I mean, no, Luxembourg, the only thing I don't remember at Luxembourg is you can drive across it in one day, right? Is that about right?
It's huge. It's 30 kilometers from east to west and 50 kilometers from north to south. So you don't need one day.
Just 1 hour.
Feels like an hour. Feels like an hour or two.
Okay, I was being nice. I was being nice. Or maybe can you walk it? Do people walk it in one day? Probably, right? Why not?
Well, when one of my colleagues retired at 65, he walked 50 kilometers to celebrate. But that was walking right along the Moselle and into Germany. So it was, you can do it. It's easy.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, we wish to listen some beautiful words from David.
David.
Me and beautiful words. That's a tricky.
Yeah.
But thank you. But thanks for the opportunity to come along and to gate crash the party. As various people said, I think one of the great things about Toastmasters is we can learn so much from each other, whether it be, a club that perhaps meets first thing Friday morning, or, like your own club in Singapore meeting later on a Saturday evening. And, I've been to many, many clubs, and it's always great to see how things are carried out, what may be different, what idea can I take back to another club, or even indeed to the next club that perhaps we visit. So, yeah, thank you very much indeed for the opportunity.
Thank you.
I have one little question. Do we have any guests who for today it's the first time coming to a Toastmasters meeting? Or are we all Toastmasters?
They left already.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, we have few people that actually come for the first time, but because today is a Ramadan and it's the time for the breakfasting and also for the long prayer. So few of them is just coming and few of them is just. And unfortunately for World Travelers, 3 of our members is sick, but they are still here.
We wish them well, though, right, Eliza? We wish all of them well.
Yeah, I think, we forget how magical this is, that we are all from different countries, different time zones, different everything, and here we are together. That's quite magical. I mean, think about that like 10 years ago. What? It'd be impossible. But I think it's beautiful, it's magical, and I'm extremely grateful for it. So grateful for all of you being here, whatever time zone you're in, whatever mind frame you're in. But whenever you're in Toastmasters, you're always happy, right? I think so. It's a shot in the arm.
It's midnight.
Is it
Oh, it's
midnight for
midnight?
you?
Oh, and it's now it's
Midnight,
11.
yes.
It's 11 and it's 11:44 in the morning. I'm in New York. It's 11:44 a.m. right here, right now.
11:44 p.m. for me.
Anyone else? What time is it for you guys?
Hey, I'm in
6:45.
Bahrain.
At 12:45 midnight in Japan.
Oh, wow.
It's a
6:45
quarter
p.m.
to 5 in the afternoon and the sun is shining, so I'm
Oh,
missing a bit
wow.
of that.
Yeah,
And you know,
6:44. 6:44 for me here in Saudi Arabia.
oh, interesting. It is pouring rain in New York, like pouring. And you have sunny, which is nice. But I call rain liquid love, so I'm good.